Hi everyone, my name is Max and today I'm here with the Booktube Newbie Tag. So this is actually my second Booktube channel. I started one many years ago, but then it just didn't work out. I was in the middle of college and I didn't have a camera, and so I was juggling between my dad's camera, my phone, and my GoPro, and I did it one summer and then I tried to do it in college and it just didn't work. So I did decide to put it on hold. I changed my channel because it was just really boring. It was just my name. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have a fun Booktube name, the Fantasy Fanatic, that's me, and I am here to introduce myself and talk about some things about me. I'm 22. I was in college in New York, in Ithaca, New York. I majored in screenwriting with a minor in business, and then I was in LA for my last semester for screenwriting, and then COVID hit, so I came back home, and I am now working for a company. I'm not going to talk about what it is because I don't have permission or anything, so I'm just going to ignore that part of my life. And I just decided, you know what, I think it's time for me to come back and do some more Booktube, because what else am I supposed to do? We're basically in quarantine still, especially with the resurgence of COVID. It's kind of just, it keeps getting worse basically, and so I don't know how long I'm gonna be here for, but I thought it's time to do more Booktube. And I am living in a very small town in Idaho, so there's nothing to do, but it's really close to a hot spot for tourism, and COVID is running rampant here, which is really, really fun. We really like that. But without further ado, let's get into the tag. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? So when I first started Booktube, it's because I had no friends who liked fantasy, who really liked reading like I did. I do have friends now who do after college, but I read so much that I'm like, I need people to talk to, people who've read the same books as me, and I thought that this is the place to do it. Of course it is. I mean, how could it not be the place to do it? It's Booktube. And so I was like, it's time. I want to talk to people about the books. I read between 15 books, and last month I read 35. So I just read a lot and I need an outlet. I need people to talk to, and this is the place to do it. What are some fun and unique things I can bring to Booktube? Like I just said, I read a lot, and so I think that I can bring a lot of reviews, I can bring a lot of experiences and what I read, what I like to read, and I think that the fact that I read so much can actually be really helpful to people, because I'm just gonna I read so much fantasy and sci-fi and everything, and I hope that it can really encourage people to read or read the books that I love. Number 3, what are you most excited for this new channel? I'm really excited to meet friends. I'm really excited to be able to do stuff while in COVID and while in quarantine. It's hard to go out and meet people these days, obviously, and so I'd love to meet some friends through this where we don't have to actually meet face to face to be friends. Question 4, why do you love reading? I think that this basically is answered by most people who do this. It's just a great form of escapism. I absolutely love going to new worlds. It really helps me. The characters influence who I am as a person. I decide kind of who I want to be based on my favorite characters. It's just so easy to just be absorbed in this whole new world. That's why I love fantasy specifically, is because it's definitely a form of escapism. It's not in this world. It's completely different. You can imagine yourself going to this other world and becoming this hero, and that's just really, it just appeals to me on so many different levels. And then as being a screenwriter, it's actually, all of my professors have always said the best thing you can do for your writing is to read, because you learn more about story and you learn what you like in a story, what doesn't work in a story, and it was just super helpful for me and my writing. It was total validation for me. People will just like get on me about like, why do I read so much? And then I can be like, actually, it's the best thing I can do for my writing. And it's pretty funny, but it totally works. Number 5, what book or series got me into reading? So the very, very beginning was like early elementary school, and that was the Magic Treehouse series by Mary Pope Osborne. They were just so good. I was able to read like 1 a day, which now I could read like 10 a day, but at the time it was the first book that I was able to really just read through in a day, and I loved it. It was a huge series. I read so many of them. I might have even gotten like caught up on the series, and then I went to bigger and harder books, but I absolutely loved that series. I think it was just so instrumental to who I am as a reader with the fantasy and everything. And then what got me into more like older reading was the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson and Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Yes, I know, both of those series actually suck. Like, looking back, they're not good, but they're definitely instrumental to who I am as a reader, and they are definitely the ones that got me into reading. Number 6, what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? I don't know the answer to this question. I get that it's kind of like, you know, if you could meet your favorite author, what would you ask them or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like that's like kind of, I just feel like it's kind of a weird question. I guess, like, how did you make friends starting off on a booktube channel, especially those people who have been here for a long time before booktube got as big as it is? But maybe that made it easier to make friends because there was only a few of you, but I'm just like, I'm very nervous. I'm a very personable person. I'm an extrovert, but I still am nervous making friends. And so if any of you guys like want to be friends and you have a booktube channel, definitely let me know. I definitely want to have friends. But yeah, I guess that'd be the question that I'd ask. Number 7, what challenges do I see will be hard to overcome? I don't know. I'm doing this because it's fun, because it's just something that I'm really passionate about. So I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of challenges. Maybe editing, maybe there'll be some things I just don't know about editing, so I won't be able to make them like super, super cool and innovative and stuff, and maybe like storage, but I don't know. For the actual booktube process, I don't think I'm going to find much to be that difficult. Just because I'm doing this because I have a lot of time and I just want to, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Number 8, when did you start reading? I've been reading since I could read. Since before I could read. My mom would read me a story before bed every night, and then as soon as I could start reading, I was reading. And so it's been for forever, basically. That's just how it is. I've read for absolutely my whole life. I can't remember a time where I didn't either hear a story or read a story, and it's just been instrumental my entire life. Number 9, where do you read? I read anywhere. It's usually my bed or my couch or outside. Because I'm in like this small town, my parents have houses, so I'm able to sit on our deck and read. And when I say houses, I mean my parents are divorced, so I do have 2 houses. My mom's remarried, so I have a stepdad, but they both have like full houses, and I have decks at both, and I do really enjoy reading outside. And the last question, number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I like to read basically everything. My favorite is, of course, fantasy. I do like sci-fi. Contemporary, it depends. I get really sick of all the tropes that contemporary has. Like, you know, the character is just pretty super annoying at the beginning, and then something happens and they have this huge character development, but they have these big fallouts and they say some pretty unforgivable things, but then the characters like forgive them right off the bat. These sort of things I'm sick of, and I find them very annoying. So contemporary is definitely a hit or miss for me. And then I do really like historical fiction, historical fantasy. I really love like Tudor era nonfiction. I read quite a bit of that, and yeah, I'll read basically about anything. I'll try it. It doesn't mean I'll like it, but I'll definitely try anything. And then, so just a couple things that I thought I'd go over were also some goals I have for the year. So my reading goal for 2020 is 150 books right now. What I like to do is I like to work my way up. So I'll start with like 100 books. And then as soon as I hit 100 books, I'll go up to 150 and then 200. Right now I am at 145 books of 150. So I'll definitely be hitting that soon, especially with my August TBR. Stay tuned for Wednesday for that. And I like to go up in increments, so I'm not like pushing myself to hit a Goodreads goal. I like to have goals that definitely are attainable for me. But also, this year, I hear Tamora Pierce's books might be becoming a TV show for the Tortle series, which is like the universe. So I've been reading a Tamora Pierce book a month. I have completed one of her series, and I'm almost completed with another. After August, I will be. And so I've been reading one book of hers a month. I really, really enjoy them. I am having a lot of fun. I loved the first series. The second series, I'm not in love with as much, but I'm definitely still enjoying it. And I'm really excited for the next series. And then I've also been reading reading an Alison Weir book a month. This is kind of where the Tudor era nonfiction comes into play. I really love her writing for the Tudor era. She's got like, she's got a series for all 6 wives of Henry VIII. 5 of them are out now, and I'm just very fascinated with that time period. My thesis for my film that I had to write was about Henry VIII's last wife. And so I'm just super, super interested in this time period. And I think Alison Weir does a phenomenal job at writing. And the next book that I'm reading, which you'll see on Wednesday, is not actually Tudor era. It's way before that with the Plantagenets. And I'm just super, super excited to pick it up. I did try to read a Jim Butcher book a month because I read the Codex Alera series last year, and it was my absolute favorite series of the year. I absolutely adored it. I super, super recommend it. Please read it. It's phenomenal. So I tried to read his Dresden Files series, and I just can't. I DNF'd the 7th one, which was in July, and I'm just not continuing. They drive me insane. I just think the first book I thought was terrible, and then yes, Harry has a huge character arc for the second book, but it's just, but then it's just stagnant. Like, he hasn't changed since the second book, and he just drives me crazy. He's sexist, he's misogynistic, and so I have decided to stop reading that series, but I have read 7 of them, and I don't think I'd suggest them. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Wednesday with another video.